Hi everybody, my name is Jamal from Jay's Internet Solutions. Welcome to episode 9 of Jay's TV. Today we are going to talk about the value of LinkedIn, right? A lot of people don't understand what LinkedIn is about, and LinkedIn is a social networking website, but it's very different to Facebook, right? Now, Reid Hoffman, who's the founder of LinkedIn, he's also actually an initial investor in Facebook, right? Reid says that LinkedIn is built very different to Facebook, right? So LinkedIn is built, he says, in a way that people should come in there, do what they have to do, find what they have to find, and then leave the site, right? Their intention and their aim is not to keep users on the site, right? And with Facebook, the sort of idea is completely different. Facebook wants to keep you there, right? So they have all these apps which are built by independent companies and developers, and they have games like Farmville and the Mafia game and all of these things which keep people on Facebook all the time, right? So people, if they're not on Facebook permanently, right, throughout the day, they'll go back, very regularly throughout the day. So that's how Facebook works, but LinkedIn is different because LinkedIn is a very business, type of site. It's very professional, and it's not like Facebook. So if you look at a business meeting, if you arrive at the meeting, you want to do your meeting, finish up, and then leave the meeting, right? Whereas if you're at a party or at friends or at family, you want to stay long. People don't really want to leave, and things can go on and on. So that's how Facebook is. Although, like we mentioned 2 days ago, there is a lot of business value in Facebook, right? So LinkedIn is, I say that LinkedIn is for anyone who has a business card, right? So if you're a business owner, right, number one, you'd have a business card. Or if you work in a company and you're an account manager, or you're the managing director, or you're the sales manager, anyone with a business card, I think, should be on Facebook, on LinkedIn, right? So let's take a huge company and you have a truck driver, right? That person is not likely to have a business card. So that type of person is not likely to benefit from a profile on LinkedIn, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the truck driver, but I'm saying that LinkedIn is for business professionals, people that want to network, people that sort of have a need for the site. So LinkedIn, you'll have your professional, you'll have your professional profile on LinkedIn, which is like your CV or your resume, and you'll have all your detail of what you've done in previous jobs, etc., right? So it's a good business profile of you. And then further than that, they have a companies section, right? So you can list your company, and also you can find out which people are working in that company, right? So if you search for a company, you can find out that there are a whole lot of people working in that company, and you might know some of them, or you might be linked to some of them, right, via someone else. And that's sort of more technical, but you have a first level of connections on LinkedIn, so the people that you are directly connected to, and then you have a second level, right? The second level is people that are not directly connected to you, but they are connected to someone in your first level, right? And then you get a third level, and so on it goes, right? And what's very interesting to me is that whenever I do a search for people, right, majority of the people that I find in the first few pages of the search results are in my first level of connection or my second level of connection, right? And that shows me that whoever I want to connect with is very close to me, that I can link through to them via someone on my first level, right? That's extremely powerful, and that sort of enhances or explains the 6 degrees of separation, which is a scientific phenomenon which we are going to talk about next week, right? The 6 degrees of separation is a scientific phenomenon which is the underlying sort of reason why sites like Facebook and LinkedIn are very powerful. And people are saying now there's research being done by a company that came out actually a couple of days ago, which says that Twitter has made the 6 degrees of separation into 5 now. So the degrees of separation between people are now 5 degrees and not 6, right? So we will talk about that next week. But back to LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has personal profiles so you have a personal profile of yourself, and you can search personal profiles of other people. And then it has the companies section, which I mentioned. So you can search for companies. And then it has groups, right? Now a group doesn't have to be a company group. It can be an interest group, right? So if you're interested in social media, right, and you don't run a social media company, you can have a social media group, right, and gather people there and have discussions there and sort of build a network and build a community over there in that group, right? And then a very interesting section of LinkedIn is the questions and answers, right? So people pose questions in LinkedIn, and other people answer those those questions, and those are all ranked. So you can see how many people have asked questions. You can see how many people have answered questions. And what does this do? When you answer questions, it raises your expert profile, right? It raises your status as an expert. Now, I want to talk about this, right? Some people sort of, they like to say that they are a jack of all trades, or they're a generalist, or they can do anything. And these people actually think that this is a good thing, right? And I would humbly disagree with them, because I don't think we are in a time anymore where there's room for generalists. I really believe that this is a time for specialists, right? I think people need to be experts in their field, and there are a few reasons I believe this, but one of the reasons is that there is so much information today available in all fields, right? Information that's so vast that was not available a few years ago. So in any field, it's even difficult to be an expert today, right? Because the information available is so vast, and the sort of the progress in industries are so rapid, especially in industries like mobile and the internet, and even other industries as well. So to be an expert is really the only way to add value to the people that you're serving, your community and your customers, right? So I do believe in being an expert, and LinkedIn has that sort of facility of questions and answers where you raise your expert profile, right? LinkedIn is extremely powerful, and LinkedIn is actually, it has shifted the recruitment industry rather, right? Because recruitment is all about people and their professional sort of resumes and their professional experience, and LinkedIn has all this in one place, and it's extremely powerful. So if you are in the recruitment industry, I'd like to talk to you about LinkedIn. We are going to have an event very soon. Myself and some other people are hosting an event for the recruitment industry. So if you are in that industry, please contact me at jamal@jays.coza, and let's talk about how LinkedIn has affected your industry. So this is the end of this episode. I hope you have sort of understood a bit of the value of LinkedIn. We are going to go more into depth with this in later episodes as we go along. And tomorrow we are going to talk about the value of YouTube and Flickr, the last of the big five. And I do think it's important that you tune in tomorrow. I hope that you do. And until then, crush it.